Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show. This episode, Alumni of Miskatonic University. Yeah, it's always good to continue our education, and what better time than Halloween, right? Life is an education, and our education is important. It's something that we always have with us, and it kind of sets our path in life. And what I wanted to explore this Halloween is education that can drive you to madness. And it can, really. But besides that, I just want to take a moment to love the set, right? I mean, I'm just really digging it. So I was going to go with this kind of nerdy, bookish thing, like I was in some ancient university of some kind, but I'm really digging this Universal vibe, the monsters of Universal Studio. I've got Frankenstein, well, I know the monster of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and some other good stuff, The Mummy. I mean, how scary is that? So I just wanted you to enjoy that. But getting back to Miskatonic, what a strange name for a school, right? The interesting thing is you can look online, and Miskatonic University has its own web page, and people have a lot of good things to say about it. In fact, I've heard that some people have actually used it on their resume. I was kind of thinking of using it too, maybe if I was more at a junior level, I could pull it off, but I don't know. So, what is Miskatonic University? I guess that's a question that could be answered in many ways. I think for some people, it's lore. For some people, it's just kind of, maybe a made-up place or a place that exists in our minds. But you'll see references to it, like in Scooby-Doo's Mystery Incorporated. There's a lot of lore around Miskatonic University. There's a Miskatonic University Brewing Company, and a lot of stuff out there about it. And it's like, yeah, you probably half of you know where that's coming from, but I was kind of new to it when I was a youngster, like looking at some of these back covers of albums, and artists like Metallica or Yngwie would be like listing all these cool things they were kind of inspired by with their music and such. And well, definitely you can hear that on Metallica, Master of Puppets album, and some of the others. But you'd see like influenced by Eddie Van Halen or whoever, influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. And I'm like, who in the heck is that? And it's then it's like you get into that, it opens up this whole world. And fortunately, I discovered H.P. Lovecraft at the right time. I discovered him when I was in school, and I think that the idea that there's hidden knowledge in the library just kind of made me a fixture there. It's just like I lived in the library, and I would go through all the philosophy, occult sections, music, art, and I had the whole Dewey Decimal System memorized. I didn't have to go to any computers or what do they call them back in the day, stacks or anything like that. I just like, stroll around, and I had like everything memorized. And I would challenge people that would visit the school, like, pick up a book. It's like, just pick up any book. And it's like, you could open it up, my name would be in there, and a little card, like. But it's the thing about Miskatonic University, it's the passion for knowledge that would drive people mad. And I think that in my school, there is a hidden, wherever I went to school, it kind of changed as it went on, but there was a hidden collections. I don't know what those are for today. They used to actually have some pretty bizarre books, some stuff that was really expensive, some books that could get damaged. It wasn't a matter of, like in the lore of Miskatonic University, the Necronomicon. I mean, You've probably heard about that. It's like this scary book by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred. And, just a lot of fun, crazy stuff around it. I don't think it really opens up any portals or, the ancient gods are going to come destroy us. But it's kind of an interesting notion, right? But yeah, as I was saying, hidden collections, they're probably just like for porn and J.K. Rowling's books today. That's where they put all the stuff that's, just, could damage, people's minds. So, but I like the story Mountain of Madness as far as H.P. Lovecraft. It was one of my favorites because it did have the ancient lore behind it. It had the expedition kind of coming out of the university. And if you don't know, the expedition is to Antarctica. I mean, how cool is that? But what's more is that this expedition actually happened. And there's a lot of speculation about what was discovered in Antarctica and Admiral Byrd's expedition and whether he actually saw some of these things and went to the middle of the earth and, all this conspiracy theory type stuff that's just so exciting for, building worlds and, making this kind of literature really interesting. Elements of horror, elements of sci-fi. It's just amazing how talented H.P. Lovecraft was at building these worlds. And I don't know, he was kind of we could maybe in another episode get into him. He was an interesting character, and I think he's kind of coddled by a lot of critics that would otherwise, as aforementioned author I mentioned, would just, do away with somebody over, any disagreement in the way that they may have seen, people or the world at their time. So it's not all nice, his writings, it's like some of it's disturbing in other ways, but it's just something to think about. We kind of, cherry pick what we like, I guess, and the whole idea that there's a hidden collections is, really interesting. Like it's, for some schools I've been to, they're just expensive books that they don't want people, getting sweat and boogers on, but in, other schools are kind of like more hidden things that just would be, I guess, controversial to, have in the, general part of the library. I mean, that's kind of the challenge today, right? To kind of see what, books you can, kind of put out there in the stacks that will, be provocative or, everybody has, something to say about these things, but I like that there's just, mysteries and things to discover, whatever it is, that there's, things beyond that, that we could look at that could potentially expand our minds so much that it would make us crazy. And that is, the big part of Lovecraft lore is losing one's own mind. It's, there's the horrors of what lies behind the veil, but there's also the horrors of our own mind and descending gradually into madness where we can't tell the difference between what's out there and what's reality. Just something to think about. So what school was it based after? I thought it was Cambridge. What people have claimed based on where Lovecraft lived and some of the description of it is possibly Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, or Bowdoin College in Brunswick. So, you have your pick there. It's probably kind of a composite of just, different ideas. I mean, I like the kind of like old Gothic schools with the worn steps, where everybody, has walked up for decades or centuries. And you can see the history there. It's like as we learn, we're always trying to expand and kind of tear down the world that came before us, as we go into the future, as we're becoming. But it's interesting to have something that speaks to the past and haunts us in some way, that that grounds us in the future. And maybe even scares us a little bit, what we may uncover. I wanted to play a song for you. It's, I'm just going to go freaking metal here and do kind of an acoustic Miskatonic University. It's kind of a joke song, but it got better as it went along, so I think it's, maybe going to be a real banger, and I hope you enjoy it. I wanted to give some shout out to the channel here. Please, if you're on my channel, take a look down there, like, subscribe, hit the button, check out the social media. It really helps the channel grow, and we can be a part of this. So I hope you appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and let's do it. Miskatonic University. I'm the keeper of hidden things. I guard the mysteries. Be careful what you learn, the nightmares it brings. I'm the keeper of hidden things. I guard the mysteries. Be careful what you learn, and nightmares it will bring. Oh, at Miskatonic University, at Miskatonic University. The books, they talk to me. They haunt me in my dreams. Be careful what you learn, and nightmares it will bring. The books, they talk to me. They haunt me in my dreams. Be careful what you learn, and nightmares it will bring. At Miskatonic University, oh, at Miskatonic University. Be careful what you learn, and nightmares it will bring. Loads of spirits robbing me of my sanity. What is dead, eternal lies, but with strange eons, even death may die. With strange eons, even death may die. At Miskatonic University, that's right, at Miskatonic University. So why this guitar? Well, there's a couple reasons. Because it's an acoustic guitar and I can just perform with it vocally. But the real reason, the second reason, is it's metal. No, I mean it's literally metal. Like that kind of metal. Like oh yeah, like heavy metal. Yeah. So okay. Okay. All right. Dad joke, right? Okay. Yeah. But it really is fucking metal. So I guess we need to bleep that. It's fucking metal.